It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100k.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
With a six-pack of races to go in the 2021 chase for the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series Championship, we are a mile high in the sky with a doubleheader in the Rocky Mountains. Good afternoon, lads. Right on the outskirts of Denver, Colorado, we welcome you to none other than the Denver Motorsports Park, where we return to the Mile High City for the weekend showing at this gorgeous racing facility, beginning this afternoon with race number 32 of the 2021 MBCS season, the OtterBox 300k. My name is Trey Ray as we welcome you live from Aurora, Colorado, with live coverage being broadcasted once again on NASCAR Nerd 34. Due to a schedule change earlier this Monday afternoon, two Denver races are now being condensed into a single weekend to form the Casa Bonita Denver Double presented by South Park. We open the weekend by racing on the Roval layout the first time in series history. 18 turns make up this 3.75-mile road course, all wrapped up in a 24-lap show to begin the final 5 weeks of the MBCS season, all wrapped up in the beginning, in the month of October. And then obviously, for the doubleheader, we will be here, right back here at noon Eastern Time for the South Park 400 presented by Denver Mattress tomorrow on the oval layout. That is sure to be an exciting show. We came off of another road course last week at the Willow Springs International Raceway, the Red Blue TF2 100k at the fastest track in the West, in which we saw Caleb Rose visit Bonnie Armour Victory Lane for the second time this season. He starts 16th on the grid this afternoon, and if you've seen the previous couple of road course races, you will know that your starting position really, really matters, especially since we are not going to have any cautions, and pit strategy is going to be the name of the game, just like it was last week. And it really bit Dustin Davis in the butt. Davis starts 5th, so he will have a bit of a redemption story going for him in that RB Chevrolet. We'll just have to see what he does this afternoon. And Caleb Rose, like we said, he is going to really have to make it work if he wants to win back-to-back races, which still hasn't been done in MBCS Series history. The closest it has been done is when Riley Sampson won just a couple of weeks ago at Greenville Spartanburg and finished 3rd in the Randy the Plumber Bristol Night Race. That's the closest it has been to ever being done, but who knows? We've seen stupider things happen here on the MBCS. They don't call it the Meme Barbecue Cup Series for no reason. And speaking of a meme, take a look at the, with 6 races remaining in the chase, take a look at the left-hand side of your screen at your current chase grid after the Willow Springs race. Braden Perez with its ninth place run at the Best in the West last week at Willow Springs remains in the points lead as an increased it to 100 points over Tristan Allen. We saw how that 92 can run when he is hot, and oh my goodness, you better call the fire department because he is going to be burning down the next 6 races here because he is on fire like we saw in the middle of the season. So we'll have and he does start second on the grid alongside the pole sitter of the 42 of Aiden McCrow, his another chase driver up there in the points. So we'll have to see what Perez is able to do here. He is starting on the outside, and just like with Willow Springs, you typically do not want to start on the outside lane, especially at a road course. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. and how far Perez can potentially extend his lead, or how much he can lose it if he wrecks out early. That is definitely a possibility here, as this is such a technical road course, and we will be going over all the sections on the parade lap here in just a short minute. Mitchell Collins is in third place, 115 points behind Braden Perez. Nelson Reeves falls down to fourth place. And the pole sitter for the OtterBox 300k, as we previously mentioned, Aiden McCrow starts fifth on the grid, 190 points behind Braden Perez. And those 5 are the ones who can mathematically take over the championship lead today. And the rest can use today, need to use today, to set up shots of making a run at this championship. Those drivers are Brendan Yodel, Madison Toll, Logan Alexander, Trey Smith, whose points deficits range between 215 points for Yodel and 295 for Trey Smith. All those drivers have pretty much every driver in the field, with the exception of Allen and Perez, have had horrible runs to begin the chase. And no drivers have more horrible runs than your bottom 3, who are pretty much out of the running at this point. Dano Georgi, John Andrews, and Tyler Reynolds are all more than 450 points behind Braden Perez going into the Denver Roval, or the Casa Bonita Denver Double, I should say. And given where Dano Georgi starts 39th, and they both start in the bottom 35, so I believe they are long shots at best. If any of them can win the championship, especially Tyler Reynolds, who is 470 points behind Braden Perez, a 2.5 races worth of points already. Already 4 races in behind is 19 of Tyler Reynolds. I'd say their odds of winning the championship are absolutely astronomical. And they, like I said, they are long shots to hoist the championship trophy at best when we go to New Jersey. And the more races we run, the more we will see the favorites. The favorites to win at this point are definitely Braden Perez, Tristan Allen, and Mitchell Collins has had the consistency of Jello, so we'll have to see where how he does his race. He does start, I believe that is about 38th on the, no, not 30, 31st on the grid, the other end of the 30 spectrum. We'll have to see how he does here at the Denver Roval. And we'll just have to see. I think it's going to come down to Braden Perez and Tristan Allen. And both those guys were absolutely dominant in the early stages of the season. That should cover just about everything. So you know what that means, guys. Let's get this weekend started, lads. What do you say we head down trackside to get the starting command for the OtterBox 300k at the Denver Roval and get this Casa Bonita Denver double cooking, ladies and gents.
Drivers, start your engines!
Like we mentioned, Aiden McCrow and the 92 of Braden Perez start on the front of the field for the OtterBox 300k. Rest of the starting lineup is on the left-hand side of your screen. The 62 of Brennan Wilmington starts alongside the 14 of Keegan Thompson. Thompson has won at a road course before, one of the Papyrus Motorsports Park. We'll see what he is able to do this afternoon. Row 3, the 40 of Dustin Davis is looking for redemption after last week at the Willow Springs International Raceway. So it's outside is the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. Row 4, the 75 of Eric Monaco, the 79 of Ethan Lewis, that is the 75 of Eric Monaco. Starts alongside the 1 of Zachary Davis. And in row number 5, the 0 of Colton Yo starts alongside the 15 of Ryan Benjamin. As they go through turn number 4, giving your KFC race report as they head back out onto the straight. But this is through turn 4. Now they are on this short straight, this long straight, I should say. As the field goes through Kenny McCormick's Kink. Of course, we've got to name these after the South Park characters that everybody knows and loves. To go through turn number 5, you'll see that highlighted on a graphic on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, where your KFC race report will be in a few moments. Down through the chute and into the S's, we're going to be seeing a lot of action in the S's this afternoon. Make sure everybody rolls off the starting grid. Exiting the S's down onto this long straight, one of the longest straights on the infield portion of the course. About to enter turn 10, which is one of the most technical, one of the most technical areas on the track. Downhill, going into this short little chute with a little bit of a kink in it on the entrance. About to enter turn number 11. See Mission Barbecue Cup Series logo there. There's very short chute. You are barely on the gas. And this has got to be one of the most technical corners on the racetrack. Turns 12 and 13. As they exit turns 12 and 13 onto the back straightaway. Your KFC race report is at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. It is going to be a 24-lap race around this 3.7-mile Roval. Yellows will obviously be turned off as this is a road course. Your pit window is between 12 and 14 laps right at the halfway point. Should be make things interesting at the end, as we are obviously going to be going caution-free. And your previous winner here at the Denver Roval is obviously nobody. This is the first time in series history the Mission Barbecue Cup Series is on the Roval layout of the Denver Motorsports Park. As the field will enter the Cartman chicane and go onto the front straightaway, all 40 drivers about to get this show going. Pace car makes a hard left-hand turn down the pit lane. Aiden McCrow and Braden Perez will lead them through the race's restart zone. Green flag is waving in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, let's roll in the Mile High City. Entering the road course layout for the first time, they are 3 wide going through turn number 3. Bit of contact being made going through 4. And Brendan Wilmington on the gas early on. And everybody gets through the first section through Kenny's Kink, and someone has gone around in the middle of the pack. That is Landon Smith Jr. And he will find himself all the way in the back. Started this race in 6th. As Aiden McCrow has established himself into the lead as they enter the S's for the first time this afternoon. Make sure everybody gets through. Can go double file through here. Everybody gets through the S's with ease. I'm not sure who turned around the 88. It may have been Dustin Davis, and I thought someone was going around here. As they go through turn 10, someone making contact in the back. And that is Logan Alexander has gone around. And Charlie Davenport as well. Tristan Allen, Mitchell Collins, and a lot of cars going around in turn 10. Nathan Stapleton is junked. So is Juan Rodriguez. Mitchell Collins in it as well. And we talked about how Mitchell Collins has not been too consistent as the rest of the field transitions back out on the oval. Tristan Allen in it as well. Huge chase implications there as the rest of the field transitions into Cartman chicane. They'll go through the chicane single file. A little bit wide goes Brendan Wilmington. Braden Perez tries to get past the 62, but onto the front straightaway for the first time under green, obviously. Aiden McCrow leads lap number 1, and for second place is coming Braden Perez in the number 92, excuse me, trying to get underneath his Pacific Racing teammate. And we're going to have our first casualties race of the race already. That was an interesting start as they go back through the Roval. Braden Perez has gotten around his Pacific Racing owner and teammate of Brendan Wilmington. How about Eric Monaco, and how about Justin Davis? He did start 5th, but he has survived the opening lap chaos of the OtterBox 300k. As Aiden McCrow goes through 5, the rest of the field goes through Cartman's Kink, and Kenny's Kink, I should say. And Owen Miles having trouble getting onto the pit lane, and they do use the Formula 1 pit lane on this track. And Owen Miles missed the F1 pit lane, and the LPs are kind of stupid when it comes to when a car misses the pit lane, and he will try and return to his pit stall. He'll probably stall out as Derek Hamill, Mitchell Collins have gotten back out there. Same with Logan Alexander. Tristan Allen making his way down the pit lane as the rest of the field comes back through the course. In through 12 and 13. Back onto the back straightaway they go. And McCrow has opened up a lead over his chase competitor, trying to gain any ground in the chase grid. He is 190 behind Braden Perez, so he's not going to gain a lot. And as they go through the chicane once again, McCrow a little bit wide. Everybody gets through it nice and easily. So everybody will go through single file, and this is good news for guys like Dano Georgi, John Andrews, and Tyler Reynolds, who survived that opening lap chaos. Actually, I don't see. There's Tyler Reynolds in the 19. I don't see Dano Georgi at all, in fact. Not sure where Dano Georgi is. Oh, there's Dano Georgi right underneath the 07 of Daniel Bouchard. So Georgi has survived the opening lap chaos. There is Derek Hamill. As we go back through the field, as they are back through turn number 4. Perez goes a bit wide as they go through Kenny's kink. Into turn 5. We'll see if Wilmington can try and repay the favor that he gave to his team car. Pacific Racing not doing too well. I guess they were doing decently in the owners' points. They're about 5th or 6th in that, if I'm not mistaken. And they're running pretty decently at the moment. We'll check back in where Caleb Rose is. Rose at the moment, P14. So a fairly solid run for your defending winner here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. But right now, Aiden McCrow has led all 3.5 laps so far. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Ryan Benjamin with 1:15.303. It is going to be a fairly slow-paced race here. That is why we only do 24 laps. I believe we were doing somewhere between 48 and 50 laps tomorrow on the oval layout here at Denver. But McCrow leads them through the Cartman chicane. Everybody gets through nice and easily. And just as I say that, Trey Smith makes contact with his TRD teammate of Caleb Rose. And he may have been assessed a penalty there. He's losing a bunch of time. And he'll fall back into the clutches of his chase competitor of Nelson Reeves. And Reeves will make a 3 wide between Smith and the 0 of Colton Yo. Now they'll fan it back down to 2 wide. Trey Smith not having a good start to this race. Has been pretty stagnant in the field. Back to the front, it is the same top 3 as before, but Brian Durrani has gotten around Dustin Davis for the top 5. Back through the field. Reeves will get around the 79 of Ethan Lewis. Tristan Allen might get lapped here in a couple of short laps. McCrow is making absolutely great pace right now. Allen is just entering turn number 11, I should say. Now he is going through 12 and 13. I think McCrow, yeah, you can see McCrow and Perez are going to lap that 56 soon. We'll make sure nobody else is knocked out, but Juan Rodriguez, Nathan Stapleton, Charlie Davenport, and Owen Miles have all been knocked out of the OtterBox 300k. 36 cars remain, and we're about to have probably 35 or 34 on the lead lap. As Kristen Allen goes through the chicane on the front straightaway. We'll see what the interval is this time by. I think McCrow has opened it up just a bit over the 92 of Perez. But this is going to be a huge payday for Perez. Allen and Collins both having problems. Nelson Reeves is in 20th. And Perez is closing a bit on the 42. As we are just about halfway through this pit cycle here at the Denver Roval. If you are just tuning in, a chaotic opening lap has been the christening of this race so far. And Aiden McCrow, your pole sitter, has not looked back, but Braden Perez, to start on the outside pole, is trying to look right in front of him and trying to put the heat down on that 92 machine. We could see Pacific Racing go back-to-back. That would indeed be something. We have seen that before, not out of Pacific Racing, but out of Polish Star Motorsports last season. But Pacific Racing with 3 wins on the year so far. Looking for win number 4 of the season. We all know the story. They have expanded to a 3-car team this season after being a 2-car team. They gave James Edwards the boot to bring in a struggling Caleb Rose. also brought the rookie Braden Perez in. Braden Perez has been their bread and butter. Caleb Rose had a really tough opening portion of the season. And Brendan Wilmington has not had the runs that he would have liked. He entered the chase last season having 0 DNFs, but after Atlanta, it was just horrible finish after horrible finish, and that bad luck carried over into 2021. He is right now in the final podium position, going here, working on lap number 5, about halfway through this fuels run. And they are rapidly closing in on the 56 of Tristan Allen. They're about a straightaways worth to the 56 5-hour energy machine. And yeah, here is, this is going to be the battle. And let's see if Allen slows down the 42 at all. No, he does not. And we'll see if Allen slows down Braden Perez. Oh, Perez had to check up. And Allen is at full speed, so he has just as much liberty to race these guys as possible. He'll move to the outside for the 62 of Perez. And that is going to hold up Perez a bit. He goes wide through the dirt, gets those right side Hoosier tires in the dirt. Logan Alexander is not going to be lapped soon, so we work on lap number 6 of 24 here at Denver. McCrow has led all of them, but Perez looking to extend his championship lead. He's got a lap over Tristan Allen. He doesn't have any laps led, I believe. Given where Perez and Allen are running right now, Perez is second. That will give him 190 points. Allen is 36th. That gives him 20 points. So that'll be an additional 170 points over Tristan Allen. Mitchell Collins is also in the back as well. So Braden Perez, going into tomorrow's race, looks like he might be he just need to cruise through the last couple of races, and he might lock up the championship early. I don't want to say anything too soon. He could have a mishap going onto the pit lane, and that could really shake things up. He could have some sort of accident with McCrow, and he is trying to track down that Delta 42 machine, who is looking for win number 3 of the season. Anything can happen. That's why you have to run the races. You cannot assume anything. Let's see if anybody else has been knocked out of order, but everybody is just running in their respective positions at the moment, as Allen will hold up the 99 of Madison Tall. Tall will not like that, and Rose sees an opportunity to get around the 99. Allen does have a lot of damage, that 5-hour energy 56, so he's just got to get out of the way at this point. Rose will try and get underneath Tall. That is for the 14th position. He will get around turn. Now Tyler Reynolds, again, a couple of chasers, making it 3 wide, about to enter Kenny's Kink. They will file it back down to single file wide. You do not want to go 3 wide here through the kink. Oh boy, you do not. Allen will fall back. And Tristan Allen has got to hope for something to happen. The top 2 have pulled away from the 62 of Brennan Wilmington here as we work on lap number 7. We are a quarter of the way through the OtterBox 300k here at the Denver Motorsports Park. What a race it has been so far. Allen getting passed by everybody on the outside, and obviously we will be taking a look at the incidences at the end of the race. It doesn't appear that we will have any more, but who's to say? Who is really to say here? Logan Alexander is the last car on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is, so I don't think these guys are going to be lapping him anytime soon as they go through the Cartman chicane. Through here, here's Parrish and Clifton side by side through the chicane. They get through with ease. Clifton will be on the outside. It's going to open the door for Landon Smith Jr., who is, I'm not sure who turned him around, but he is not going to be happy with them, as the top 2 have really pulled away from Brendan Wilmington, and even though we are going to have a cycle of pit stops, I think it's going to be the battle between McCrow and Perez for this race win. And I think Perez might have a slightly better car than that 42. He is right on the back bumper of McCrow. Can he do anything? I think McCrow is slightly better through the Roval layout. As Tristan Allen makes his way off of the pit lane. So they're probably going to go another 2 laps down, potentially. Through turn 10 they go. That very technical turn 10, which we saw calamity already in the race. It's all about saving your stuff now and making a fight to the end as McCrow goes wide through the exit of 13. Back onto the back straightaway. Perez will get him through the gears. And now the battle for third is heating up. How about Ryan Durrani? Durrani started 13th on the grid and has made his way plus 9 positions. By far the biggest mover of the race so far. Through the chicane they go. Like we said in the pre-race show in your KFC race report, your pit window is about 12 to 14 laps, so we were about 3 to 5 laps away from these guys hitting the pit lane for the only time this afternoon. As for third, here comes Ryan Durrani to the inside of Brendan Wilmington. Wilmington will give away that position at the moment. And yes, he will. Now will he try and do a crossover move? Going back through the Roval portion of the track. Durrani goes a bit wide, but Wilmington will just try and keep right on the back bumper. That 38, Dustin Davis, continues to fall back. He's now in 7th as Ryan Benjamin just got past him. Meanwhile, the top 2 are in their own zip code. They continue to put a half a second a lap over Brendan Wilmington and Ryan Durrani, but Durrani might try and catch up to these guys. Like we said, he's the biggest mover of the race so far. I think he did benefit from those guys in front of him. We'll see where. No, he has made his way through the field via being faster than everybody else, and we'll see what the interval is between Durrani and the 92 of Perez this time by. Making sure everybody gets through the course nice and safely. Oh, something happened to Perez. He did not have a good exit of 13. And he lost a lot of ground to McCrow that time by. McCrow trying to go for max points. We'll see. Durrani does have the fastest lap, so he is the fastest man on the racetrack at the moment. Oh my goodness, it is insane how good Perez is going through the chicane. We'll see what the interval is this time by. I think Perez lost a tad bit. Yeah, he lost 4/100ths of a second, but now Durrani has gotten it under 3 seconds over the 42 of McCrow. So Durrani is coming, and we'll just have we really have to see what these guys are able to do on the pit lane. And if anybody decides to pull some strategy in the late goings, but Durrani is already pulling away from Wilmington. He is rapidly closing in on Perez and McCrow, and if these guys get together, watch out and see if Durrani can make this a 3-car battle for the lead. I think he is definitely going to make it a 3-car battle for the lead. That 38 is running on rails at the moment, the fastest car on the racetrack. Just have to see how everybody can get everything done. But right now, it is still McCrow, and I think somebody may have gone around there in the back. That may have been from the lap 1 incident. I don't see any new faces in the back, so that may have just been from the lap 1 chaos. We'll see. Oh, McCrow didn't hit it through the corner. It's going to open the door for Perez just a bit. Guys are just trying to play it safe at the moment. McCrow will lead them through Roval 14 and 15. Into Cartman's chicane. Perez gains in on him, but McCrow back through the gas. And the pit window will be open next time by. We'll see where Durrani is compared to these guys. He gained in a little bit, but the tires are beginning to wear out on these machines. And everybody is going to try and come down the pit lane and put some 4 fresh Hoosier tires on these cars. Right now onto the back straightaway, entering the Roval for the 11th time this afternoon. 12th if you count the parade lap. And Perez is right on the back bumper of that 42 Delta Chevrolet. Oh, he goes a bit wide. We might see Perez trying to make a pass for the lead, but no, he goes wide through 4. And allows McCrow to pull away. Perez sends it in deep. I think he's going to try and get him here. He's going to try and pass him before we get to the pit stops. And that is going to be a crucial pass. And we'll see if McCrow does the same mistake as his teammate did last week. Ironically, it was these two fighting for that race lead. It was the two teams, I should say, Full Frontal and Pacific. Now Perez, he is trying to get around this 42 machine, entering 12 and 13, back onto the back straightaway. Who is the first through the gears? It is going to be McCrow. And we'll see if anybody decides to begin this strategy early on. And Durrani may have fallen back just a bit. But the window's open this time by. We'll see if anybody elects to come down the pit lane. No, they don't. McCrow goes a little bit wide, had to catch it. Braden Perez is going to draft him on the front straightaway. They are nose to tail, and here comes Braden Perez to the inside of Aiden McCrow right before the pit strategy, the pit cycle is going to begin. Durrani did gain 0.3 of a second there. But McCrow, the 42 is going to have the outside lane, but Braden Perez is going to have the advantage going into the Roval. A new race leader, first lead change of the afternoon. The 92 of Braden Perez, looking to extend his chase lead, has gotten around the 42 of Aiden McCrow. All right, don't count out Ryan Durrani. Durrani might try and make something happen. And McCrow might try and fight back, might try and take a swipe at the 92 of Perez, but the window is officially open to come down the pit lane. We'll see if these guys can outlast one another. Durrani is coming as well. We'll see if he can make it as a 3-car battle for the race lead. As everybody gets through the course nice and easily. Top 3 are pulled away. Top 2 have pulled away even more. McCrow wants that lead back going into the pit cycle. We'll see what he is willing to do to get it. They both go wide through the corner. That's good for Durrani. They're both on the gas at the same time. As I go through 14 and 15. We'll see if anybody elects to come down the pit lane this time by. Perez, it sounds like they are downshifting. No, they do not. Perez goes wide through the corner, but keeps it in the gas. And does anybody like to come down the pit lane? Brennan Wilmington does. So does the 26 of Brennan Yodel. Oh, Yodel missed the pit lane. And that is bad news for Brennan Yodel. We saw with Owen Miles, the LPs are kind of bad when it comes to this. And that is going to take the 26 out of contention for this race. Daisy Johnson and the EA Sports Camry comes in as well. And Yodel is stuck there trying to get... The game thinks he's in his pit stall right now. That's a bad break for Brendan Yodel. Dano Georgi, another chaser, comes down as well. Back to the race lead we go. Nathan Smith gets a little bit wide through the corner. No harm, no foul. And McCrow might try and take this race lead back from the 92 of Perez. Durrani lost a little bit of time, but here they are, the top 2 nose to tail once again. And the mistake that the 26 made cannot be replicated by these leaders. The game thinks that Brendan Yodel came down the pit lane, but I don't think... I think he's going to have to come down once again, so that takes Brendan Yodel out of the running. Perez through 12 and 13. Oh, they are both really slow that time by. Logan Alexander comes down. And I would like to remind everybody that there is an access road that these guys have to come down, abide by. We'll see who elects to come down the pit lane this time by. Does Perez do it? Does McCrow do it? Yes, they do. Do they get into the pit lane nice and easily? Yes, they do. Durrani is down. Does everybody get down? Oh, Fitzwater's going to stay out. Caleb Rose. Such a tight narrow lane. No, Fitzy decides to come back down and misses the exit entrance once again. And it's going to be the same thing with Brendan Yodel. Heartbreak for Zachary Fitzwater. But it looks like it's going to be a 2-tire stop potentially for the 92 of Perez. It's going to be out. The 42 of... Oh, it's going to be close off the pit lane. They're side by side, but Aiden McCrow utilizing that first starting position gets off the pit lane first. I believe it was a 4-tire stop for these guys. Nobody stayed out. I'm surprised Zachary Fitzwater tried to come back in. But on the access road, through the corners, Braden Perez right on the back bumper. Now they're back through the racetrack, and Ryan Durrani is right with them. Same with Eric Monaco's not as much, but Durrani gained so much time on that pit stop. And now we're going to have a 3-car battle for the race win. Brendan Wilmington had a slow stop. Came in and... actually, no, Wilmington is 29th right now. And nobody came out. Now Brendan Yodel had to come back down the pit lane, repair the damage. And Fitzy is going to have to do the same. Tough break for both those guys, especially Zachary Fitzwater. But now it's a 3-car battle to the end here. And we should be good to go to the end. Halfway home through the OtterBox 300k, and Durrani gets underneath the 92 for position. Top 3 right together. No, and McCrow gets turned by Braden Perez. Perez in the inside wall. Durrani gets by. Eric Monaco will get by. Oh my goodness. We said anything can happen, and the top 2 just took one another out. And McCrow is not going to be happy with Perez, and Durrani is probably just going to run away with this thing. Absolutely unbelievable. Biblical scenes here at the Denver Motorsports Park. And Perez, he's got a hot rod, but he may have flat spotted the tires. He's got a lot of damage to that 92 machine. But Durrani is on an absolute revenge tour. Missed the chase by 11 points and is in the best position to get the job done. He is 4.5 seconds in front of Eric Monaco. Oh my goodness. Absolutely biblical scenes here at the Denver Motorsports Park. And the top 2 drivers, who have been the top 2 all race long, just took one another out. They took one another out of the lead. They got it refired, and they're out far enough in front of Eric Monaco, Nathan Smith, and Brennan Wilmington that they were able to keep it going and keep in contention for this win. But McCrow may have flat spotted the tires there. I don't know about Perez. I don't know what his tire situation is. But biblical scenes here. Absolutely biblical scenes here at Denver. And you cannot make this up even if you tried to write it out. Still 36 cars remaining on the racetrack. I think Brendan Yodel is probably going to be mathematically knocked out of championship contention going into the Oval tomorrow. Perez is gonna try and get second back. He ran in second for the majority of the race, led a couple of laps, and he is still in position to gain a massive payday in the chase standings. But a win would have been absolutely perfect, as Fitzwater came back down the pit lane after missing the pit entrance, I should say. And it was a heartbreak for Zachary Fitzwater as well. Through 1 and 2, the interval is now 5 seconds. And now Brendan Wilmington gets around the 42 of Aiden McCrow. Wilmington somehow got the undercut to work. And he will get out in front of everybody. Or not everybody, he'll just get out in front of the 42. And McCrow may have flat spotted his tires with that spin, as Wilmington will get underneath the 92 of Perez. And I'm not entirely sure if these guys took 4 tires or not. I believe they did, because we were focusing on Zachary Fitzwater missing the pit lane as, oh my goodness, Wilmington goes really wide through 5. And then it's going to give the, nope, McCrow does not take the position back. Wilmington now sets its sights on the 92 of Perez, his team car, but Durrani already in his own zip code, and he might be seeing lap traffic of Zachary Fitzwater come into play. But I don't believe there's been any other major incident on the racetrack, as Wilmington tries to get around the 92 of Braden Perez. How about Eric Monaco? Has had a rough couple of weeks, but did get a solid finish last week at Willow Springs. He did turn around Zachary Fitzwater in the early stages of the race, so I believe he got a decent finish, but right now just trying to cruise around to a runner-up finish as Wilmington goes to the inside of his Pacific Racing teammate. On the rumble strips he goes, textbook chicane pass. And he will get around his Pacific Racing teammate and set his sights up on Eric Monaco. As Durrani is still 5 seconds in front of the leaders, with 8 laps remaining, excuse me, here at the Denver Roval. I think he'll catch up to Zachary Fitzwater and have to deal with him as a lap driver. As Wilmington now catches up to the 75 of Monaco. Perez wide through 4, opens the door for Aiden McCrow. And does Aiden McCrow pay back the 92 of Perez? Wouldn't that be something? Nathan Smith will make this a 3-car battle for 4th. That would completely change the name of the game if McCrow were to dump the 92 of Perez and potentially take him out of the race. But I think McCrow has flat spotted those Hoosier tires on the 42 machine, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get up to Perez. And these guys have to go at it once again tomorrow, and I don't think the tempers are going to be too hot. I don't think the tempers are going to cool off too much by then, as Nathan Smith will make a run of the inside through 13 underneath McCrow. 7 to go at the line, and Ryan Durrani has got the best chance of winning this race. Going through Cartman once again. And I believe they should be able to make it to the end. They came down on lap 13. And they don't run it till I think the max they can go is 18 laps, so they should be able to make it to the end. See the interval. There's Fitzy just entering the Roval, and Durrani giving the pay. I honestly have no idea if Durrani is going to be able to lap down the 9 of Zachary Fitzwater. He does still have the fastest lap, but I don't believe he's going to lead the most laps. He'll get 2:15. So Durrani he will get 5 less than max points, as Wilmington trying to make a run at the 75 of Monaco for 2nd. Perez is just going to fall back to 4th. Closest battle at the moment is just ended there with the 53 and the 88 of Johnson and the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. Single file racing throughout pretty much the entirety of the field. Nobody else has been knocked out. Tristan Allen is the only car a lap down, along with the guys that were taken out on that lap 1 accident. Wilmington setting up a shot at the 75 of Monaco. And he's going to get to the inside. Monaco goes wide. They'll be side by side for second. They are closing a bit on the 38 of Durrani, but I think Durrani is just trying to save fuel. We honestly don't know for sure if these guys can make it to the end. We believe they can as Durrani enters Cartman. There is the 75 and the 62 just entering the frame. So the battle for second is heating up. Wilmington trying to get a runner-up finish. But hey, never say never. As next time by will be 5. Count on 5 laps to go for Ryan Durrani. And the OtterBox 300k looking to continue his revenge tour here for not making the chase. Speaking of which, we'll check in on some other chase drivers in the field. The highest running chaser is the 92 of Braden Perez, but we might have a battle right here. McCrow to the inside. Does he take revenge on the 92 of Perez? No, I think he doesn't. Perez goes wide, and McCrow didn't have a good entry there through 4, so there is Perez. There is the 42 of Aiden McCrow. Those are your highest chasers in the field as Wilmington to the inside of Monaco for second. They'll be side by side going through the short chute, entering the S's. I think Wilmington will get by Monaco, and he does. It has been textbook pass after textbook pass for the Mellow Yellow Camry. He is 4.5 seconds away from Ryan Durrani, but coming around to 5 to go, he is going to need to step on the gas and hope that Durrani has some really poor lap times. But your highest running chaser is the 92 of Braden Perez. Second is Aiden McCrow. Madison Tull has found her way. Actually, yeah, she's found her way up to 9th. You might hear my smoke alarm going off. There is 7 of Nelson Reeves in 12th. The 79, looking at chasers. There's Dano Georgia in 16th. How about the 19 of Tyler Reynolds making up after a really poor qualifying result of 35th. He is up to 18th, trying to salvage what he can. There is your defending winner on the road courses this season of Caleb Rose in 20th right now. Actually, he's gotten around the 0 of Colton Yo for 19th. There is John Andrews. Andrews currently in the 28th position. 78 of Mitchell Collins is 30th, excuse me. And the 52 of Trey Smith rounds out your chase. No, not rounds out your chasers. There is a 20 of Logan Alexander, the 33rd. Brendan Yodel, the 26th, 34th. Tristan Allen rounds out your chase field in the 36th position. Back to the front we go with our luck. Braden Perez is probably upside down, but no, he is not. Wilmington is closing in slightly with 5 laps to go. Don't see what he's going to be able to do over Ryan Durrani. So this is the most interesting battle on the racetrack. Perez right now will come out of here. Let's see, McCrow is 190 back at the moment, I believe. Yeah. I believe Aiden McCrow will be 90 points behind Braden Perez where he runs now. It will be something like that, and I believe he will be the highest chase driver to do so, because Nelson Reeves is currently in the 13th position. I believe Braden Perez will definitely be the championship leader going into tomorrow's race on the oval. It'll be either Reeves or Aiden McCrow that will be second in the points. I believe it will be McCrow at the moment. Right now, with 4 laps remaining, that 62 car might be coming. He might be coming fast. He closed in a second that last time by. See, Durrani still has the fastest lap. We aren't gonna call things just yet. We are gonna predict Ryan Durrani will go to victory lane, but we are gonna pay a little bit of a closer attention at this battle for the win. With 4 laps remaining, it's definitely gonna come down to these two. Eric Monaco is running in third, 5 seconds behind the 38. And this is the battle for the chase. Nathan Smith still trying to get around the 42 of Aiden McCrow. But now the top 2 are within the same frame of one another. So I just don't know. I don't know what the deal is going to be. Break out the mighty stopwatch. I did not see my phone anywhere. There is the phone. We'll see. Break out the stopwatch and pick a random spot on the racetrack to pick out. So, you know, we'll pick out the entrance of the chicane to see what the interval is. Going out of frame. Oh boy. According to stopwatch, Ryan Durrani is going to have company. We'll see what the interval is that time by. Oh, Brennan Willington is coming with 3 laps to go. He clocked in another second faster. We'll see if he's got the fastest lap. He does not, but that 62 is coming as that was a close moment there between Durrani and Allen. Now does Durrani catch Fitzwater at all? And does Wilmington what does Wilmington do to get around the 56 of Allen? MWR is in a battle with Pacific Racing for the Owners' Championship as well, so we'll see if Tristan Allen will move in front of the 62 of Wilmington. We'll go to the outside. Wilmington trying to make the pass, but no, he's going to get caught behind the 56 of Allen. And this is going to be a horrible lap for the 62. To the outside of Tristan, he is. Tristan, oh, that may have been the race right there. Off track goes to 62. He is going to lose a ton of ground to Durrani. Exiting turn 10. Oh, that was not, absolutely not what Brennan Wilmington needed. But I think he is still going to gain in a lot with 2 laps remaining this time by. I believe the rest of the field will remain in their stagnant positions, I should say. So still no, we'll see what the interval is this time by. Coming around to 2 laps to go. Durrani in through the chicane. Wilmington in through the chicane. They're in the chicane at the same time. In the same style, I should say. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go. We'll see how much the damage was. He's still gained into 2 seconds behind Ryan Durrani. He has got to hope that Ryan Durrani gets held up by Zachary Fitzwater in the middle of the track. The infield portion of the track, I should say. But Wilmington, I have no idea what adjustment they put on that 62 car, but he is rapidly closing into the 38. They're within the same straightaway. Oh, this could be a battle to the end. Let's see if they're in the same frame. Now they're in the same frame. This is where the hunt begins. And I'm not sure, like, we will see at the end. If the 38 and the 62 took 2 and 4 tires respectively, but that mellow yellow 62 Camry is so much better than that 38 machine. I've got to think that Durrani went with 2 tires and Wilmington went with 4, because here comes Brendan Wilmington, a lap and a half remaining here in the OtterBox 300k. And Durrani is just going to pray that he is able to hold off Brennan Wilmington for another lap and a half. They transition back out onto the oval. And it's not down to car length. It is now to seconds. I should reverse that. It is not down to seconds. It is now down to car length. About 7 or so car lengths separate the 38 and the 62. Through the Cartman chicane for the second to final time. White flag in the air. One more time around the Denver Motorsports Park Roval for Ryan Durrani. Can he hold off a hard-charging Brennan Wilmington? Zachary Fitzwater is in the middle of 1 and 2. I don't think that they're going to get around him, or catch up to him, I should say. Wilmington has got 16 corners to get around this 38. Right up to the back bumper of him, entering the infield Roval for the final time. And if they make contact, Monaco is only 6 seconds back. Just don't know. Here's the first move. Wilmington goes a lane lower, but loses a bit of time. He had to have taken 4 tires, and Durrani had to have taken 2. Through 5, and this could be the battle for the race win. This could be the pass. Wilmington is going to have the inside lane going through the S's. Durrani is going to let him by, and Brennan Wilmington with a last lap pass is out front here. On lap number 24, what can Durrani do to fight back? We could see him be a late breaker in the Cartman chicane. As they go through 12 and 13 for the final time, Wilmington is already pulling away. He goes wide. Durrani goes wide as well. Back out on the back straightaway for the final time. About to enter turn 14 and 15, and Wilmington has set sail. Thought he blew up there for a second. But into Cartman chicane for the final time. Absolutely unbelievable. Biblical scenes here at Denver Motorsports Park. A last lap pass does it. Brennan Wilmington is going to go to body armor victory lane here at the Denver Roval. Ryan Durrani, heartbreak once again, will finish second. And Aiden McCrow is able to get around the 92 of Brayton Perez. But Brennan Wilmington gets it done. And we are going to see if Wilmington decided to take 4 tires or what adjustment they did on the pit stops. But Brennan Wilmington gets it done. Oh my goodness, we have got a lot to unpack here. We have got a lot to review. Brennan Wilmington is your official winner with a last lap pass in the S's over Ryan Durrani. He made up 5 seconds on a green flag run after pit stops in about 12 laps. Absolutely unbelievable. Ryan Durrani was a lap short of getting his second career win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time in series history, all 3 cars in a team have been to body armor victory lane. Actually, nope, that is not true because Polar Star Motorsports did it last year. But all 3 Pacific Racing drivers have visited body armor victory lane. And it is back-to-back for Pacific Racing here at the Denver Motorsports Park. And we have got quite a bit to review as we look at the rest of your results. Tristan Allen was the only one off the lead lap. Let's take a look at that chaotic first lap here at the Denver Motorsports Park. That took out Owen Miles, Charlie Davenport, Nathan Stapleton, and Juan Rodriguez. Then we'll take a look at if there were any other incidences that we have to take a look at. We'll obviously take a look at that the 42 of McCrow and the 92 of Brayton Perez taking one another out. And then, oh my goodness. We will obviously take a look at if these guys took 2 tires or 4 tires. But what a race. Aiden McCrow and Eric Monaco have knocked it into the inside wall. Let's take a look as everybody just goes full idiot mode into the inside pit wall. Let's take a look at your incidences and then get you to your official finishing results here as we wrap up chase race number 5 here in 2021 for the MBCS. Following with the 38 of Ryan Durrani, and I believe he took only 2 tires. See Braden Perez down the inside as well. Spends a lot of time on that right side, and it was a 2-tire stop for Ryan Durrani, so that explains why Durrani was not able to get around the 62 of, or why Durrani lost so much time to 62 of Brennan Wilmington. We'll see what 62... Brennan Wilmington, I believe, is just going to take a 4-tire stop, a standard 4-tire stop. Let's see what it is. And it is going to be a 4-tire stop here. We'll have to see what Ryan Durrani took. But I believe this may have been the difference of the race win here at the Denver Motorsports Park. But that's going to do it here from the Denver Motorsports Park, and you will take a look at your official race standings. Brennan Wilmington, Ryan Durrani, Eric Monaco, Aiden McCrow, Braden Perez, Nathan Smith, Dustin Davis, Ryan Benjamin, Madison Tall, and Zachary Davis are your top 10. Take a look at the rest of your finishing results. And we saw the accident there with Owen Miles, Charlie Davenport, Stapleton, and Rodriguez. That was an interesting race, to say the least. We had a bit of controversy when it came to the lead lap cars, or the leaders taking each other out. And then we had a last lap pass for the lead, like you saw. And Brennan Wilmington gets it done here at the Denver Motorsports Park. And don't go anywhere this weekend, because tomorrow we're taking out the road course part. We are going on the oval. The South Park 400, presented by Denver Mattress, will be tomorrow afternoon at noon Eastern Time. That is going to be a fun one here around the 2.28 mile oval layout here at the Denver Motorsports Park. That is going to be 40 laps of action here tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. We will not keep you waiting just for long. We're not going to keep you waiting with this post-race show. That is all I've got to say. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the OtterBox 300k here at the Denver Motorsports Park, Roval. Congratulations once again to Brennan Wilmington on getting his first win of the 2021 season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series. You're gonna see your chase standings and the rest of your point standings in just one moment. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, ladies and gentlemen, but not a good weekend from the Denver Motorsports Park. We will see you tomorrow for the South Park 400 presented by Denver Mattress, only on NASCAR Nerd 34.